Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. You have survived another trip around the sun. Happy orbital completion is what I've been saying to people in text messages. I'm a little bit distracted. I'm honestly not doing super well today, but we're doing our best because that's one of the drawbacks of a morning show. Part of me is going, Ember, this is really stupid. Just postpone the damn show. But the show is themed about January 1st. So we're gonna try to do this. But if I have to run, I'm trying to like pull up a surplus video I can put on. Surplus is the wrong word. The things that TV shows do when they're away for a holiday or whatever, it doesn't. Hopefully we won't need it because now that we're going, now that I've got myself together, now that some of the medicine is starting to kick in, I'm feeling a little bit better. So hopefully we'll be okay. Congratulations on another trip around the sun, which is a weird thing to say because like, why now? What's the reason we picked January 1st? Why is January 1st where it is in the calendar? Why isn't it aligned to a solstice or an equinox or something that has something to do with our orbit? It's very peculiar. So we're going to dig into some of that today, hopefully, if we live long enough. Thank you all so much for joining. Before we get going, I want to recognize some people who've already started sending in stuff. A great way to start the year. I appreciate that very much. Miranda sends us a $10 super chat saying, Happy New Year. Fuck yeah. Happy end of old year. Despite my own difficulties this morning, I'm hoping we can build a better year this year. Holy crap, that would be amazing. Liliball Trade sends us $5. Thank you, Lil, and says, Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey, much love in the new year, Amber. Thank you, Lil, and to you as well. Lil, of course, has her own emoji here because she's frequently co-hosting, although not always because life is lifey. Bree, hello, hello. Always good to see you. And Jess and Rainbow and Weed Bro and Misinterpretations and Ryan. It's Orbital Revolution. Absolutely. That'd be a great band name. And my apologies if I'm missing some folks. I'm scrolling through quickly. Ack, what happened? Kelly, Detroit Atheist Queen 24/7 sends us $5. Thank you, Kelly. This is another year of being an Ember fangirl. Oh goodness. I appreciate it. My goodness. Y'all. Oh my. Deviant says, feel better soon and remember, my darling Ember, we love spending time with you. We do it so much we want you to last for a long time. I want me to last for a long time too. But I very much appreciate the sentiment. You know, it was not that long ago that I did not want to last for a long time. And there is one thing that changed that. You people. It was you people who gave me the connection, the community, the ability to connect with others to a strong enough extent, because I'd been so isolated for so long, that I was finally able to come to understand what I needed, and that it was okay for me to need things. And that led to some rather radical changes, which have, despite all the bullshit from society, have made my life happier than I could have ever dreamed. And you folks have been here for it. You've been, dare I say, cheerleaders. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate getting me started. I appreciate wanting to be alive again. I can't ever express my gratitude. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And I'm starting the new year all mushy and whatnot. I guess it's better than a rant about something political. Oh my. All right. So how do I have this inner monologue that like watches everything I do and like mostly criticizes, but generally gives a play-by-play of like what you're doing. And it's like, Ember, you're making the whole year a mushy mess. All right, let's try to get to work here before something unfortunate happens. Right, this button to bring up the thing. We are here. Okay, first question. I have questions about measuring the year. First question, why January 1st? It's a mystery. So let's find out. Let's look into this together. So this is Earthsky, earthsky.org. You know what? I'll make them. Normally I do like a split screen thing to the greatest extent I can, but today we'll make them big. If I can find the button for that. I'm sure there's a button for that. Let's well, that's bigger. Whatever. Okay, the date of New Year's Day seems so fundamental that it's almost as though nature ordained it, because we grow up with it, right? Like every year it's New Year's, and it's a big, it's a thing. It's a whole thing, but it's cultural. New Year's Day is a civil event. The date isn't precisely fixed by any natural seasonal marker. And here we have, and it's very small. It's a statue of Janus. I'm not sure. Oh, Well, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. It's Janus, the two-faced god. Now, Janus serves a lot of interesting purposes, but in this case, the month of January is named for Janus because of the new year. This is the Roman New Year. And so we put the day of Janus, January 1st, on the day where we divide the year, because you have one face looking backward and one face looking forward. And we all kind of do that on New Year. We get retrospectival, but also foresighted. What are your plans? What are your resolutions? What are you hoping to accomplish? What are you looking forward to? Like events, like, for example, Rocket City Reason Convention, which I'm mentioning for no particular reason other than the fact that I've heard it's coming up, and it definitely has nothing to do with the fact that the Gleasons are some of the best humans on the fucking planet, and I very much appreciate them. But I'm being sappy again. And now this is gigantic. What are we doing? What are we doing, Ember? All right. Our modern celebration of New Year's Day. Incidentally, if somebody could drop a link for Rocket City Reason, I'd appreciate it, because I'm trying to focus, and I don't want to links in. Yeah. Focus, Ember, focus. Our modern celebration of New Year's Day stems from an ancient Roman custom, the feast of the Roman god Janus, or Janus, depending on how you want to pronounce things, the god of doorways and beginnings. Oh my. The name for both the month of January also comes from Janus, who is depicted as having two faces. One face of Janus looks back to the past, and the other peers toward the future. I love how it says peered toward the future. It uses the past tense of a future action. For us in the Northern Hemisphere, early January is a logical time for new beginnings. At the December solstice in the Northern Hemisphere, we had the shortest day of the year. By early January, our days are obviously lengthening again. Oh my. Don't make the obvious joke. Don't do it, Ember. Don't do it. This return of longer hours of daylight had a profound effect on cultures that were tied to agricultural cycles. It has an emotional effect on people, even in cities today. I mean, well, yes, you've heard of SAD, you've heard of the winter blues, SAD, seasonal affective disorder. There's various things people call it. The loss of daylight makes us sad. There's a physiochemical reaction, right? And we know that because we're from a broken branch of primates, we don't produce, well, several of the vitamins we need, but one of them, vitamin D, we need sunlight. We still photosynthesize that one thing, and so we need sunlight. And if we don't get sunlight, then we don't get enough of a vitamin that we need for a whole bunch of things, not the least of which is mood regulation. And so we get sad. This is what when people say go touch grass, this is what we're referencing often. We may not know we're referencing it, but it's what we're referencing. It's saying you need to get out of the basement and get into some sunlight because you're unstable. You see? In part. Say Levy. Misinterpretation says I'm actually happier in the winter. I'm Irish and have spring. You have an Irish spring? I'm interrupting. And it's a written comment. And so that's a neat trick. I'm Irish and have spring, summer, and fall allergies. Okay, that makes sense. The whole collection of it. I'm actually a little bit allergic to winter. It's not technically an allergic reaction. It's just the severe cold shocks my sinuses and makes them act as if I were having an allergic reaction the whole rest of the day. But I do understand the struggle. I also have a dust allergy, and I used to work at a Walmart. So I had to take Benadryl constantly. It's an oof. All right, let's see. The early calendar makers didn't know it, but today we know there is another bit of astronomical logic behind the beginning of the year on January 1st. Earth is closest to the sun in its yearly orbit around this time. The event is called Earth's perihelion. Now, I'm not entirely convinced that the ancients didn't know that, because while we in the present like to think that we didn't discover the Earth goes around the sun until the 1500s, there is a lot of shit the ancients figured out that we didn't rediscover until much later because of Dark Ages. But never mind that. It's not impossible that if one doesn't start from a biblical presupposition that everything goes around the Earth, one might not have any particular reason to presuppose everything goes around the Earth. And so one might be willing to entertain the idea that everything goes around the sun. And of course, once you have the idea that things might go around the sun, because it's the God, it's the giver of life and warmth and etc., which is why there have been so many sun cults over the ages, then the orbits of the other planets start to make a lot more sense very quickly. So there's a pretty good chance the ancients figured it out. And also, there's looking at the calendar, right? Because the seasons are functionally determined by which quadrant of the Earth's orbit the planet is in, which is to say, when you pass perihelion, the Earth is going at its highest speed. It starts to lose velocity past that point. So that quarter of the year is going to pass much faster than the quarter of the year immediately after it passes aphelion, which is when it's moving the slowest. So this first quarter of the year will go by the quickest. And then the third and fourth quarter will be longer. You see? So that's a good reason to put a dividing line here. Potentially. It has less to do with the season and more to do with the orbit. But that it could just be coincidence. We don't know, because if they knew, that didn't survive long enough to inform us. Let's see. But yeah, perihelion is fucking cool. When is perihelion? It's around this time of year, but I forget exactly when it is. Okay. January 3rd. We're pretty damn close. So yeah, remind me. Shoot, that's gonna be on the weekend, isn't it? Somebody remind me on Monday's show to perihelion party or something. I don't know. I just work here, folks. People didn't always celebrate the new year on January 1st. In fact, a lot of people still don't, but we'll get into that later. The earliest recordings of a New Year celebration is believed to have been in Mesopotamia around circa 2000 BCE. That celebration and many other ancient celebrations of the New Year following it were celebrated. We're using the word celebration a bit much in this sentence. Around the time of the vernal equinox, roughly March 20th. That's a weird equinox because it wiggles a bit from year to year. Meanwhile, the ancient Egyptians, Phoenicians, and Persians began their new year with the autumnal equinox around September 20th, and the Greeks celebrated on the winter solstice around December 20th. It's almost like there's one calendar that's really off, and it's the one we happen to be using. By the Middle Ages, though, in many places, the new year began in March. And yeah, that's a thing for much of Europe. Spring began in March. May Day celebrations, or Beltane in the Celtic countries. That's not exactly the new year per se. New Year took place on Halloween, Samhain. That was the demarcation between one year and the next. But you'd go through the dark part of the year, and then you'd come out into the light part of the year. So 6 months away from Halloween is April 30th, Walpurgisnacht, Beltane, May Day, because the next day is May 1st. So depending on whether you do the night part or the day part of the day as where your day begins, right around there. So yeah, that's why. Around, and also, how much does it suck that dividing the calendar that way means you effectively have 6 months of winter? Granted, I live in a place where we literally have 6 months of winter. It starts snowing in September and it doesn't stop until late May. Fuck. What were my ancestors thinking? Anyway. Around the 16th century, a movement developed to restore January 1st as New Year's Day. Yes, we must go back to the Roman way of doing things. Classic conservatism. In the new style, or Gregorian calendar, the new year begins on the 1st of January. Damn it, Gregory, what have you done? Bottom line, there's no astronomical reason to celebrate New Year's Day on January 1st. Possibly on the 3rd, but not on the 1st. Instead, our modern New Year celebration stems from the ancient two-faced god Janus, for whom the month of January is also named. One face of Janus looked back to the past, and the other peered forward to the future. But why did we put Janus's month and day and etc. here, right? Because like somebody decided, okay, we're going to do a year that has 365 days, whatever. Day one has to go somewhere. I get why they put New Year's Day on day one, that they made that Janus's day, but why this day? Why did they say we're going to have day one of the new year be 11 days after the winter solstice? Like, it seems so arbitrary, and we have no idea why they lined it up that way. It's very strange. C'est la vie. Let me reconfigure here. I did not hear you come in. Normally I get a little hello.
Yeah, who knows? Oh, you're back in StreamYard. Cool.
Well, it has its pluses and minuses. Honestly, it's got a lot of pluses, but
yeah. And I hear
it's harder
to it's more expensive, but I hear that you can do the vertical easier in this layout, which a lot of the other aren't doing. So, but Happy New Year.
Happy orbital completion. No, I can't afford StreamYard. I'm bumming on one of our dear friends' accounts.
Can't
because,
relate.
Yeah. See, because I mean, the other thing I was on, Restream.
We're all broke. You don't have to explain it.
Exactly. Like, it's only $19 a month, but I cannot afford $19 a month. So
yeah, can relate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm paying $27 a month. I'm just this little rich bitch over here. Don't mind me.
For real. Loaded.
But I love you, and I'm here for you. And I heard you were streaming, and which it surprised me because you said you were sick, and I was like, "How dare she?"
I know. I'm so mean to me. Like, why? I make myself work just because I have a stream scheduled that I do every single day. I knew this would inevitably happen, right? Because I've been dealing with medical issues of various kinds for nearly a year at this point. We're just a few days shy from the anniversary. And I knew eventually something would happen at a time I'm scheduled to stream. And the bonus shows I can move. That's not a big problem. Sometimes I move them early specifically to avoid something happening later and creating a conflict.
Right.
It's these shows that are like nailed to the clock that I knew would be a problem eventually. And in some ways, it's kind of surprising it took this long.
Like so people will be upset, but then you'll be back tomorrow and they'll be like, "Oh, I totally forgot about what happened yesterday."
Oh, I know. Like, Chris takes a day off from time to time, and nobody has a problem. See, I realize I'm being foolish. I'm being a silly old lady.
I took a day off.
I don't really. That's not a thing I really do. The closest I get is when I have one or more of my kids over, and I make a food. Or sometimes we'll go on an adventure, though I must admit my adventuring has been rather limited this year for the same medical reasons. It's an oof. But we do what we can. But when one of the kids is over, I'm like cooking and I'm like hanging out with them, and sometimes we'll watch random videos on YouTube, like Daily Dose of Internet or something or whatever. And it's nice to spend time with the kids, but also it's nice to unplug because
True.
I cannot stop working. I
you can.
I
It's
can't seem to.
possible.
I don't know. Like, okay, so I'm prone to completionism because of the way my personal executive dysfunction
I know,
works. When I
what
start
you
doing
mean.
something,
But
I just I need to finish it.
I know. But I know how, like, I think I'm understanding how your brain works. But did you know that you can retrain your brain?
I've tried this a few times.
Yeah. It's like you wake up and you don't feel good, and you just rationally, it's like, you know what? Mind over matter. I don't have to hit the live button. I can sleep and I'll feel better.
Well,
Not
the
trying
funny
to
thing
get you to
about
shut
that
the
is that
screen down real
sometimes
time.
I feel better after I start the show, but
No, you know what?
it's
And that's fair too. That's fair too.
yeah.
Depending on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling a little depressed, then yeah, talking helps. But like when you're feeling like maybe falling over, maybe playing through the pain isn't the best course of
Well,
action.
it depends. But I mean, also a big part of it is sometimes I can actually, like, I've been putting off. Normally, I like try to prepare the next week at least 1 week in advance.
No.
And
You are a liar, ma'am. You cannot. You're just telling yourself you can't. You're gonna fall out one day. You're gonna be in the hospital, and you're just gonna be like, I don't know what happened. I feel fine.
oh no, we did that already. That was
Yeah.
back in
I didn't want
May
to say that.
last year.
I was trying to jog your memory.
No, we passed that point a while ago. Now we're just well, okay. Brass tacks, it's stress, it's anxiety, it's
Yeah.
worry about financial stuff mainly, and that really, really sucks. And I know that it doesn't actually help to continue to push and push and push.
Okay. No, this is good. We're making progress.
But I mean, like, the anxiety of not of like taking a day off and like, and I know it's foolish because YouTube doesn't come close to covering my monthly bills.
Saying.
But I feel like if I'm not doing everything I can to try, then when I get, I don't know, I worry about bullies. It's the anxiety is when I reach the point where my bank account is zero and I cannot afford food, someone will point at me and say, you didn't try hard enough, because I know they fucking will.
Oh, just give me their name. I'll find their address.
Oh, you already know their names.
Well,
but we're not talking about those people in the new year.
I gave you enough money to buy a slice of pizza, so you're good for today.
It's true. Thank you, Maya. I appreciate that. I actually have been buying loaves of bread because
even better.
Then I can also afford like some cheese to go on the bread or some garlic.
Yeah. No, oh my gosh. Like my favorite poor food when, like 20 years ago, like I'd just get like, I like wheat bread. And then you put spaghetti sauce on it and mozzarella cheese and throw it in like the I don't know, maybe it would be an air fryer today, but back in those days, I had not a toaster, but those little oven looking things. Well, I guess you could throw it in the oven too, but the toaster oven that you put on top of the oven or on the counter was quicker. And so it'd be like a little mini pizza. It's like, and it's all day food. So yeah, like all three of those ingredients were $3. And if I wanted to just eat it for dinner every day, it probably would have gotten me 3 days.
I actually used to make mini pizzas. What I do is I'd make the normal steps for garlic bread. I'd toast the bread,
right,
and I'd get it ready. But instead of like garlic bread, like with butter and shit, I'd do garlic bread on one side, butter, garlic, and then I'd put cheese on top. And then the other piece of bread, I'd spread marinara sauce, and then I'd put the whole thing in the microwave so that the cheese would melt and the sauce would heat up. You got to be careful, though.
The important part was the crunchy bread, though. Yeah,
exactly. You can't let the sauce soak the
Mhm.
bread, or
Mhm.
it has to be toasted enough that it'll be
Yep.
somewhat resistant, but you don't want it to be so hot that you can't eat it, because if you got to wait for it to cool down, then
Yeah, I
it'll
would
soak
just
the
burn my
bread.
mouth.
Yeah, so it's a balancing act. But once you get like the timing to the amount of sauce and cheese, you get it
Yeah.
all lined up properly.
Yep.
It's a wonderful, very quick snack,
Yep.
as long as you can handle cheese, which
And there's that.
yeah. But I mean,
Yeah,
and
I've
it's
never
also
had an
super cheap.
issue with dairy. Like, I don't like just drinking milk plain, but like I've never had an issue with it. So yeah, no, I
It's
love cheese. Like, I don't know, my quick snacks now, I keep like frozen mozzarella sticks in the freezer. When I don't know, because I'm a big girl now, I can afford $8 snacks.
woo. I keep a bag of salad. That's one of the things causing me anxiety, is it's still snowing. My road is still
That's dinner
inaccessible.
though.
And I finished off my last bag of salad. Like there's a couple bills that have to be paid on the 1st that I have to physically go and drop off a check.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for the weather to clear, and it just
Seriously,
hasn't. So I have to do it today. I have to go to the
that has
grocery store
never
today.
happened to me.
Oh,
That's crazy. Oh, I'm sorry you're going through all that. Yeah, I mean, because you should eat.
it would be helpful, yes. I mean, I haven't quite run out of food yet, but like
But
the
yeah,
salad is gone, and
go
that's like
after bed.
that's really important.
I just came in and I ruined your whole stream. You were talking about, I don't know, stars or something that I can't contribute to, but
New
I'm
Year's
here
stuff.
for you. Yeah,
It's
happy
all
New
good.
Year,
I
everybody!
appreciate it.
Very excited
No,
that we all made it.
Jester approves. Jester appreciates both the chaos and the caring about people thing. Jester, Lord of Shenaniganery, member for 29 months. Used a member chat to say that. Wait, a secular
Aw,
humanist, Maya.
yay, members, we love them.
Yay. Absolutely. Okay, let me scroll here and make sure I haven't missed. I mean, I've missed things, but still. Freeze's my favorite poor people food is draining the life force from chuds in dark alleys.
Ooh, that is also a good choice.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, shit, this is perihelion. We don't need perihelion. We need various ways we've measured the years over the years,
Yeah,
which is an ironic way to say that.
I love it.
Hell yeah. All right, so this is a walk through time. It's actually a government website. As you can see, the page is no longer being updated because it's a government website, and it's interesting to me that this thing about timekeeping is potentially out of date. But say Levy, what's not out of date? A super chat from Left-Handed Jedi, who sends us $20. Thank you, Jedi. And says, I spent my New Year's gaming with friends. Great night. That is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah,
I was working on a video. It's an important video though. I don't feel bad about it, but like I should have fucking relaxed some. But yeah, thank you,
I
Jedi.
spent it, yeah, helping out friends, and it was cool. Brie and I were on a Discord call, and I got to watch her do shots. So that was awesome.
Hell yeah. It's very, very neat stuff. I mean, shitty that the need to help the friend came up, but
Yeah, Brie was not the friend, but yeah, I mean, there were some of us, and we were coming together, and I love that that we are around the world, and if you need to talk something out, there's somebody awake. Well, I mean, if your social anxiety does not prevent you from like just reaching out to people, but if you can get past that one very important part, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really take much around here to be well connected. So it was a little kind of rough when I had one friend that was going through a breakup and called me. They were across the pond, so it's 3:00 for me, and they called just to cry, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna hurt in the morning. But I was
I
happy to
bet if
be
you,
there, and I was honored that they thought of me.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you have to balance, like, do I have the ability to do this, but also, like, they called me, and so,
Yeah.
like, you want to
Yeah, it's
not
like nobody
fucking
else
mess
was in
with
the call, just me,
yeah.
them, a bunch of sad music in a language I can't speak. So
Oh my goodness.
honored.
We
So
we have more
honored.
celebrants showing up. Cosmic Kyle's here. Kyle, finally, first of all, happy orbital completion. And second, Kyle finally is building a website where you can check out his astrophotography and buy some if you like. Kyle, if you would be so kind as to drop your link. I know the site is relatively new. When I looked at it, I think this morning. I mean, before I went to bed this morning, not after I woke up and started getting ready this morning. I think there was only one thing on it, but the website is there, and it's there's yeah, thanks. I mean, I've been low key peer pressuring Kyle into doing one for a while, and I'm so glad he finally did. Oh my goodness.
Thanks, Jedi.
It
Jedi's awesome.
hell yeah. It just says when Maya said she was watching Bree do shots, I first thought she was watching her do injections. I mean, it's not impossible. I also was doing injections yesterday. That's one of the ways I'm like, we're killing off 2025 by stabbing myself in the fucking muscle.
No, Brie likes to do vodka shots out of the crystal skulls of chuds.
Fuck yeah. We love to see it. I mean, well, when we get to see it, but
yeah.
Then we love to see it. You know what I mean? It's fine.
I do.
Yeah.
Chuds are everywhere. It's fine.
There's no shortage.
No.
All right. So how did ancient people do the thing? Celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars. They've provided us a reference for measuring the passage of time throughout our existence. They are the landmarks of our days and seasons and skies and navigation and all the things. We use them for so much. Ancient civilizations relied upon the apparent motion of these bodies through the sky to determine the seasons, the months, the years, etc. We know little about the details of timekeeping in prehistoric eras because of Dark Ages, but whenever we turn up records and artifacts, we usually discover that in every culture, some people were preoccupied with measuring and recording the passage of time. It's almost like it's a hobby for some and a destiny for others. But it's not just measuring the time, right? Like, there's a lot of us, like Kyle, like myself, who find a great deal of peace looking into the sky, into the cosmos, seeing what else is out there, and wondering about the possibilities of what else there might be. And when we will get out there ourselves and go look, that sort of thing. And so you can't semi-obsessively stare at the sky night after night after night without noticing a few of these peculiarities, like the constellations move over the course of the year in a reliable fashion, or certain stars don't hold still relative to the background stars. In fact, they move in quite funny ways, So it's not so much you're necessarily preoccupied with keeping time, it's you're using time to describe the weird shit you're observing in the sky, Kyle says semi-obsessive is an understatement. Which is fair. Oh, in 2020, I want to show you folks something. Hold, please. I need to open a folder. And
this is the time when I wish I knew like really funny jokes off the top of my head. It's like, well, Ember is looking for this file. I'm going to regale you with the cosmic stylings of the Maya Atkinson.
I mean, often when there's a pregnant pause and I have nothing else to fill dead air with, I will plug something. For example, did you all know that every Sunday night here on the YouTubes, there is a show where they talk about bad science? I've heard there are weasels.
Ooh, that sounds horrible.
It does.
Who would do such a thing?
I know. Who thought this was a good idea?
Weasels everywhere. Oh God.
Okay, I found it, and now I can share this tab. And 2020, I was obsessively running around shooting at the damn sky. Comet Neowise was happening. We got into Firefly season, and granted, this is not the direction Neowise was in, but this had been the kind of shot I'd been trying to get since I was a little kid, where we've got the stars up above and a field of fireflies doing the same thing down below. And the fact that this one streaked across as if it were a comet was just chef's kiss, in my opinion. So it's one of my favorite photos I've ever done, and I happened to pull it out because my county, I want to say health department, I could be mistaken, they're doing a gallery show for mental health awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And so they solicited area artists of various kinds, photographers, but also painters, sculptors, poets, like whatever art you got, they want to see it, to present them stuff that represents the pauses in when mental illness lets us live our lives a little bit, what we choose to do, how we choose to hold control over our lives, despite the bullshit and other artistic stuff related to that. And so, because I've done projects pertaining to mental health, and this works for New Year's too, because let this be a year where we care about our fucking mental health.
Yeah. We say that every year, don't we? But you took this picture.
What's that?
You took this picture.
I did.
That's impressive.
I used to be very good.
Oh, I mean,
give me a minute and I might could again.
You're not you're not that old. You just took this picture.
I mean, okay, so yes and no. This picture's from 2020.
Uh-huh. We all remember. Everyone in the chat remembers that year.
Mm-hmm.
It was not that far ago.
I had an easier time going out and shooting the sky at night because I was in the middle of dying. I just kept not doing it. I never got around to that part.
Well, no, that I can relate to. Never getting around to things I want to do. That I can relate to.
But I assembled a bunch of photos for this project. They requested 5, so I assembled 5, and this is another one. This is even older.
You did that?
I did. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is beautiful. Why wasn't that like something you threw on your New Year's Eve thumbnail? Like or New Year's, I don't know.
Because I didn't think of it until right this moment. This is actually the logo for my photography business, Sparklight Studio.
I love it.
Yeah. His interpretations is how to do that.
Right.
So it's a light bulb, right? It's actually 3 different shots stacked up.
Okay.
The light bulb is standing upright using some of that blue sticky stuff on a mirror. The wider shot actually shows the sparks reflecting, but for the purposes of the art project, I had to crop it in a bit. Sure. So you get a shot of the light bulb on the mirror, and then you turn off the lights and you use a flashlight or something to illuminate the front side of the screwy bit so you can get that little shine. But the main thing is a handheld sparkler, like just a 4th of July sparkler. You let it burn down about halfway or cut it halfway off or something so it'll fit behind the light bulb. And then you catch the shot when the sparkler's lighty up bit happens to line up with the filament. So it looks like it's the light bulb. And it's behind the light bulb, but because the light bulb is glass, it looks like it's the light bulb. And then you just layer them.
Oh, neat, huh? That's super cool.
Yeah. And
I wanted talented.
Thank you. I wanted to do this one, and I wanted it for the contest for the same reason, because I wanted the image to like be evocative of that light bulb good idea kind of thing.
Right.
But,
yeah. Got that immediately.
Exploding out of the light bulb, you know? like just explosive creativity kind of thing.
Yes.
And that's a thing.
That, yeah, when you like a picture says 1,000 words, I'm like, yes, 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 and yes. Got all of that with that.
Yeah,
It's just beautifully done.
That's one of the reasons. Thank you. That's one of the reasons I created, on the anniversary of the world's first wordless novel, a novel done entirely with woodcut images. On the 100th anniversary, I published the world's first photographic novel. Instead of woodcuts, it was real photos with real people doing real stuff, not a single written word in the whole fucking thing. And it told a story.
Yeah.
And I mean, because if a photo is worth 1,000 words, then even with 25 images, the same as the original wordless novel, that's still 25,000 words, which technically makes it a novella, but definitely worth publishing into a book.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, I am gonna inquire, since you've been showing me actual photographs, I'm just gonna have to like kind of back up a little bit on my limited physics knowledge and wonder what happened here.
What do you mean?
It's you're showing me pictures of IRL things you took, and then you show this, and I'm like, and this looks AI AF. So,
oh fuck no, this is from 2018, 2017. Like, we didn't have AI. AI could not produce stuff this good.
I am not accusing it of being AI. Just wondering how you did it.
Okay, so this one, I'm for the purposes of the exhibit, I'm calling it Shine, and the idea is you even in a dark place, you carry the light with you, but also umbrellas we use to keep the rain off and shit. We use to create a safe space. What if, instead of just keeping us safe from the bad shit, we used our safe spaces to fill it with the good shit, right?
Oh, kind of ostensibly. But you know, with friends like ours, who needs enemies?
Who needs theists?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
So this one, obviously the sky is digitally painted in. You can't capture that. I did. It's not a photo though. It's a digital painting.
Okay. So is there light in the umbrella, or what'd you do?
I took a flash. I don't think I have one handy. But you know, a big old camera flash with a remote trigger on it, and I taped it to the inside of the umbrella. And so, like, the umbrella itself was the light for the shot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It was pretty handy. It was a random bonus shot. We were doing, as you might be able to guess from the person's attire, we were doing a circus shot.
Oh, circus. Okay.
Circus. Yeah, like, you know, balancing on tight ropes and shit like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, when I saw it looked kind of old school, so I was thinking like Milkmaid or something, but okay, gotcha. I don't see the whole ensemble.
So we did the shots that we needed to do, and then as a bonus shot, I was like, well, you have that umbrella for the tightrope walking one, and let's try this weird thing. And it ended up being
weird. One of the best pictures.
Well, one of my favorites, but also I mean, I did digital painting on top of it, so I put more time into it than many of the others. So, you know, Oh goodness. I've got 2 more, but I have to give a trigger warning for both. The first is it is pre-transition Ember. It's a self-portrait, but I really wanted to send it into the exhibit because it's really, really important for the fact that it is pre-transition. And the other one is of a victim of domestic violence. And you're going to be seeing this person again when I finish the recorded video I'm currently working on, because it's kind of central to the theme of the video. But I will show you today because it's also part of the set for the mental health awareness exhibit. So first, Past Ember, which you all have seen on this channel before. Some of my older videos are still around, so I'm a little less sensitive about this, but it's still
oh my god.
This one, my friends that I showed to IRL after I produced it called creepy AF, and I kind of understand why. But hopefully it's really obvious what I was doing here.
No, yeah, I wasn't thinking creepy, but I love you, and I was just like, I'm just seeing my old friend for smiling at me. But then I was just like, oh wait, there's fingers. So I can see why that it kind of reminds me, and I don't know what it was, like a horror flick that did something. But I haven't finished my coffee yet. Don't mind me. I
Coffee.
think it's got something to do with our brains and faces. And she's like, oh my God, what the unknown? Like, if they peel back the hands, what's back there? Like, is it going to be, I don't know what it's going to be. Ergo's fear. I love it though. Like, it's just a picture. So you can,
That's the
appreciate it
great
for what
thing
it
about
is.
art. You can read into it whatever meaning it evokes for
Mhm.
you. That's a valid interpretation. It does evoke a little bit of uncanny valley esqueness, I suppose, but that's sort of the point.
Yeah.
Is the fingers hiding the true face is the
Right.
point,
Right.
but it needs to be subtle enough that it looks like it's effective, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
in
and that's
fact,
what
I
I'm
had to
saying.
paint over
It's
my eye.
hiding something, and it's
Yeah.
normal for humans to immediately go to fear when faced with the unknown.
Yeah. But I
That's all I'm
actually
saying.
digitally painted over my eyeballs to make it look more fake because people they were seeing something weird about the face, but they weren't quite putting it together, you know?
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's
No,
yeah.
it did. I was gonna ask that too because it looks more vibrant. The eyes look more vibrant than the rest of the face, and
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm pretty good with lighting, but you can't make eyeballs look like that with lighting, you know?
Yeah, no, it definitely adds to it. Like where you're getting like, okay, something's off, I guess here. And that very well done. Don't get me wrong, very well done. But you get this very natural looking face, and the eyeballs pop in a not as natural way.
Mhm.
Which I know is what you're getting for. I'm saying bravo. I'm not very good at like critiquing art, but when you said that people were afraid by it, I'm like, well, why would people be afraid by it? And then I went into my brain, and I'm a psych major, so there you go.
It's been known to happen. Of course, even the people who figured out that it was fingers and therefore I was, representing hiding something, never even bothered to try to figure out what. They were just like, "Oh yeah, you're probably sad, like all of us, because we're all sad all the time."
I didn't even go there. It was like, yeah, it's just my friend smiling at me. I like it when people smile. Well, I kind of like it when people smile at me. Usually, like when people smile at me, it's my nieces and they want something, so it doesn't quite have the effect it used to.
Right? It's hard, right? Like so there's secondary trauma and there's tertiary trauma. When someone experiences a trauma, supporting them can give you secondary trauma because so much of your life becomes about dealing with what happened to them. And that's valid as fuck. But also, when you get attacked by someone who has appropriated someone else's trauma as a justification to go attacking you, then you can end up with tertiary trauma because the attack against you is itself traumatic, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to say that my nieces are traumatic. I mean, I will, but I'm not saying that online. It's just, there's so many of them, and they always want things that cost money.
It's true. Left-handed Jedi pointing out Chinese New Year is February 17th. I'm a huge fan of Lunar New Year. The current Chinese government can, go suck eggs and shit, but Lunar New Year it's the same New Year, but it's celebrated by a bunch of cultures, including Taiwan, much of Southeast Asia. It's around. There's people here in the US who do.
Oh yeah. When I
had
lived in Baltimore, there was a woman who she ran some kind of an art gallery, and every year she would invite over all of her friends to celebrate Chinese New Year, and it was pretty much just a lot of eating and paintings, but I had fun.
I don't know. I love the whole thing. I love the paper lanterns, and I love the red envelopes, and the wisdom of the ancestors. Like, I mean, yeah, sure, the many people in a conga line dragon costume is fucking cool too. But like, that's like the least impressive thing compared to the ambiance and the details and the sense of community and the connection to the many generations.
No, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I wish I had that. Probably in DC they do something like that, but in Baltimore, it's always icy around Chinese New Year. Nobody's out. So it's just like us in her gallery, or 1 year it was her house. And again, it's just a bunch of paintings commemorating events in Asia and food. It's But yeah, no, I agree. I've seen online pictures of Chinese New Year. It's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah. I actually I must say I love it so much that my former spouse was like addicted to World of Warcraft, and I wouldn't have anything to do with it until the in-game Lunar New Year event happened. And I was like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And so I was going to just play the game for the Lunar New Year events. And then suddenly 3 years had passed, and I had a max level character and was raiding Ice Crown Citadel and shit. And chanting Loktar Oga, you know? I'm like, damn it. I've been hooked. I don't have time for this. Oh, goodness. Jester sends us a super chat for $2. Thank you, Jester. And says, you spoke of Kyle, but where are you selling prints?
That is a great question.
I'm not really. Closest I've got right now is here at betterthanember.com. You can go to the Ember store. And you can go down to the calendar, because this calendar has many of my photos. Every single one of these is an award-winning photo, including the cover.
Wow.
I actually won an international award for this one. A photo contest in Germany. I forget what the fuck the name of it was, because like literally I have a pile of fucking ribbons. And I'm super proud of them, but I can't keep straight which thing goes where.
I can't believe you don't have your prints on a website somewhere. Pictures are really cool because they never go out of style.
In theory, but you might be surprised at how few prints actually sell ever. Like, I didn't sell enough for the website, you know? So I don't have a website anymore.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
See, these are marketing issues. We got to get you properly marketed.
I know. That's always been my weakness. I suck at marketing. I mean, I try.
Idea this. Well, I mean, I guess it would help if I ever went to your store, but like, I don't know. It's one of those many things that I wish I had, like you would do if like you had the time, but then when you have time to do things, it's just like, what are those things I wanted to do? And
I know. It's just, okay. I'm going to deputize all of y'all who are watching, right? Like, this website, it has my name on what is it Durante says? My name on the sign, my name on the door, something like that.
Sure.
It does. The front page is my links. It's what the website was originally for, was my links. So I could just say, go to the website to get my links. But there's other stuff here. There's fundraisers for a bunch of people who need help, not just me, but there's also a list of creators.
People go here when they're looking for things specifically, but you got to remind them, like, no, go to this link for by my stuff, like we're doing right now. Like, no, see, like all these other people are not you. So just
but like I'm saying, this is a resource on the website. So when people say, I wish there were a list of creators, there is. Send them here, because I made one for that purpose, you know. When people say, I wish there was a list of science pertaining to trans people or intersex people, there is. I made a list. It's right here.
Nobody's going to remember this because they're not looking for this. You need to marketing. Listen to me.
Well, that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm saying,
no, but you're doing everything. You're doing everything. People aren't going to remember everything. They're going to like, you're going to plug something. Like you're going to say something. Somebody's going to super chat you and said, hey, where are you selling stuff? And you say, and then you remind them, and it's like, this is where this is here. Because look at this. You have like all this stuff, all these tabs at the top, and they go through these tabs, and then if they scroll through. Me personally, I get sidetracked. Moderate to severe ADHD. I'm going to forget what I'm looking for before I can hit the second tab. But
no,
I will recall.
If the person needs something specific, they can just go to the tab for that, and that's fine.
Like, no. You don't understand. If I'm scrolling through this, I might, what do you call it? You're scrolling through this now. Me being me, normally, if I wasn't so hell bent on like getting you on this marketing thing, I'd be like, oh yeah, I totally forgot. What were we talking about again? We were talking about marketing your pictures. And I bet there are people in the chat that have already forgotten because you're talking about, trans stuff and all the other creators
I'm marketing
here and all this
the website.
So I'm
explaining the features of the website.
Don't do that. This is marketing. They asked you a question. Go to my store. So yeah, you always want to shill the store. You don't want to shill every fucking thing on the store. You already forgotten the very first thing you talked about, which was your paintings. Now it's like, oh wait, I see B.S. Lewis. He's on there. I haven't seen a B.S. Lewis vid in a while. Let me go do. Just stop it. You want to show the thing. If they want to peruse the website later, that's great. But what you want to do when somebody asks you a question is go directly to, here's how you can buy the thing. And so that's locked into their memory. I remember Ember saying this. I remember her pointing me in this direction. And so now my brain has like a step. This was step 1. This was step 2. This is step 3. Don't do more than 3 steps when you're trying to market shit. And even if you're going back to the same thing, it's like, hey, if you haven't been to my, and it's really good if you want to say, hey, go back to my store. Hey, go back to my store. Hey, go back to my store. Because, that also will help every time. And so now every time I'm thinking of Ember, I'm thinking about Ember's store, but that's a different step. When somebody is in your chat, you don't know if you're going to get, you don't know if, well, okay, Jester obviously is going to watch every show and give money. But let's just say there's somebody here today that's only here today because it's New Year's Day and you're the only one streaming. They're not they're not taking all this in. And this is what I'm saying about marketing. Like you want to give them, Jester asked, where do I buy your shit? 1, 2, 3. That's all you need to do today. And if the person in the audience is like, oh, okay, cool. What are these other tabs? That they can do all that later.
I guess it's my education or nature. That so Jester sent $2 saying, listen to Maya, and then Deviant Outcast sent 20 sex saying, listen to Jester.
Deviant's always throwing out the sex. I love that about her.
Thank you both.
No, but the thing is, repetition matters. And I feel like you're saying, hey, all this stuff is over here, so I don't have to say it later. I can say it later. Because the repetition also matters.
Lil says, I think Ember's trying to get me to buy everything in the store. All right. So when I have time, possibly in 2027, I will consider putting together. I have my archive of photos spans 20 years. There's a lot of photos to go through, but as I come across stuff that might be worth adding, then I may add it to a separate store. Because this is mostly just channel stuff. Like this is actually, it's even though it is award-winning photos, it's a play on the name of the channel. It's better than last year, 2026 calendar.
I love that. Yeah. See, so somebody paid you to go here to show you this. We don't have to show any of that other stuff. They don't need to know I have a channel. We're talking about your pictures. This is where they can find them. Now, everybody, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Go to Ember showed you where the website is. Go to the website, buy the thing, get the thing, thank Ember.
And most of this stuff is linked in the description as well. Like, I don't know. Usually the store shows up directly under the videos, but not always because YouTube. But say love you. Left-handed Jedi sends $5. Thank you, Jedi. And says, listen to, a squirrel. What was I saying?
Yeah. That's my brain every day.
It's for real. It's an oof. I mean, I'm like that. This is why I have such a hard time getting shit done, because I'll like start on the thumbnails for next week. I have topics, I have resources, I know what I want to do and what order I want to do it in. I need to make the thumbnails. So I open Photoshop to do the thumbnail, and I'm like, I should do the thumbnail for Java and Jugs next week real quick. And oh, well, in order to do that, I need a photo for that. And suddenly I find myself on the Wikipedia page for the fucking Knights Templar or something, and 6 hours have passed. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Like I said, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for marketing, at least. We don't want to get the audience into our bad habits. Go to the website, click on this link, buy this thing. All right, moving on.
Okay, the last one in the series. Again, this is a domestic violence survivor, and I'll actually give you a little preview for sticking around through all this unrelated stuff. It's a New Year video. We can talk about what's coming up in the new year. So this is in like the introductory part of the video, so it's no spoilers, and also the information is information I want to spread. This is Ash. She came to me shortly after she was released from the hospital after being severely beaten by her partner. She wanted portraits done, not just pictures, but portraits. The difference is she didn't just want to document her bruises, but to use imagery to tell her story. So we created a series of images exploring all the feelings she was dealing with: shame, guilt, regret, pain, loss, anger. And this one, hope. Hope that now she was out of this situation, her life could be hers again. Hope that by telling her story, she could reclaim some control over the direction of her own life. Hope that by humanizing what she was going through, not letting it be an abstract statistic, but putting it right in people's faces, what was done to her, she could motivate meaningful change from apathetic leaders in local government. And she was right. Using the images we produced, she was able to sway city councilors, town representatives, and county officials and others to put funding into prevention programs, recovery programs, mitigation efforts, and housing for victims so people like us had somewhere to go before it gets this bad. She made a difference, and she was brave as hell to do it. And it is one of the great honors of my life that I could be part of helping her to do what she needed to do to turn the harm that was done to her into something positive for other survivors and make strides in her own healing journey in the process. This is what supporting survivors looks like. Yes. Center them. Don't talk over them. Every single part of what we do is based on a single top priority: their agency. We might help in a lot of different ways, but all of them revolve around the central axis of rebuilding their autonomy over their own lives. There's more, but you know how I get a little preachy sometimes.
No, and I didn't want to stop you. I'm like, this is perfect. Because I know that we've been getting a lot of flack for not supporting people the way that people that are not those people ask to support them, even though they ask to be supported that way. And when you're dealing with adults, I mean, I know that for like domestic abuse survivors, police actually had to take the filing charges away from like out of their agency, but it was seen as a public good. But also that is a hard thing to put into the hands of somebody who's being physically abused, because inevitably the abuser is contributing to the household. They need to get them out so that they can continue to pay bills, feed their children, whatever. They're probably getting pressure from the abuser's family and a whole slew of other things. But along with all that comes, do I feed my children and risk uncertain death? I'm laughing. It's nervous laughter because it's horrible.
It's true. There's a lot of things tied up in it. Yeah. And it stresses the fuck out of victims when they have to balance this kind of things. Like
and so these are
drawing on my own example. I was stuck with an abusive spouse for a very long time because I couldn't solve those other entwined problems. What
Right.
about the in-laws? Like my spouse had a very violent father, for instance.
Mhm.
And you know, the kids were like really, really attached to grandma. And they're after we finally did split up, we ended up having to live together in the same house for 6 months because neither of us could afford to live on our own, you
Right.
know?
No,
And
yeah, and I'm there. And
it's
if
so much
they
shit
had
like
been
that.
physically abusing you, like it would have, you know, those first 6 months are the hardest. Those are when we see the most unaliving. So I'll just call it a UA, right? Is within the first 6 months after you break up with the person, especially if they're physical abusers. So for you know, I applaud police agencies for noticing that finally and not just walking away. It's like, well, you know, I'll be back here next week because they always take them back. It is so ridiculously insensitive because they're not, all they see is, you know, what's happening in the moment. They're not looking at the socioeconomic factors that come along with all of this. So sure, I agree that there are times when it makes more sense to remove agency, but that shouldn't be the go-to. It should always, always, always be to protect them and working in their best interest. And you should never assume that you know what's in their best interest. And you should never impose yourself, you know, outside of like these legal things that are public health issues, or any kind of public health issue. If your abuse is starting to bleed out into the public, yeah, like these are things when we might need to talk about, okay, the greater, what's going to be done for the greater good. But outside of something like that, you need to center the victim. We need to figure out what's going to be good for them. There's a lot of victims that were so traumatized that they just forgot. You know, their brains just wouldn't even let them, you know, realize, like they, you know, may have been knocked out, came to. What are you talking about? Nothing happened. Why do you think you're in this hospital room? And then so you have to get them the mental health that they need to be able to face with their brain. I mean, this is like a PTSD response,
Absolutely. The
you know.
shit gets buried. All
And
right,
so you
so
can't just like I'm sorry, you can't just force that on them. You have to get them the treatment they need before you can even introduce why they're there. And so I think it's so important to for what you're doing with this picture and other people who are supporting victims in a way that is mentally stable and helpful to them. And I know you want to move on, but like this is really a passion of mine, having helped
Mhm.
employees and help patients dealing with this. I kind of feel like it's rant to be had. It's not my channel, and I apologize.
You know, we're doing different things in the new. It's fine. No, this is that. I mean, I so rarely stay on topic. I'm prone to tangents. People come here for the tangents, but also this is important stuff, and it does have a kind of thematic connection because we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to build a better future, and this stuff
Yes.
it's foundational. You the basic premise of humanism, as I understand it, is human rights for all humans.
Yeah.
And the foundation of that, the necessary basis of all of that is every human has their own autonomy. Like, of course, we can take away autonomy. We can do that. But it is not ethical to do that without a damn good reason. And victim advocacy, supporting survivors, centers on that main idea of the person's own agency. It has to be the top priority if you're in a support role. And I don't care if you're the person holding their hand in a hospital room or you're the police detective taking their statement. Your job is to support them. It's
Yes.
someone else's job to figure out what the facts of the case are. Those don't matter for what you're doing. You see what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a whole
It's a
thing.
whole
There's
thing.
really only
Yeah,
two
it's a whole
reasons.
show just on, and I know you're working on that, but it is
Yeah.
truly a whole show just on how to properly support victims. It you can't just get a couple of screenshots of text messages and assume that you know everything that happened. And then
Indeed.
I mean, you can work with the victim to protect them and listen to them based on that. But I mean, I know for a fact that even if the victim is completely wrong, you know, like I said, where they just blocked it out, if the victim is completely wrong about what happened, and we've seen this too. I've seen a couple of essay cases where the wrong people went to jail, but the victim was the eyewitness. No, that is the man that did this to me. And it wasn't, it was when the DNA back in the early 90s, when DNA came out, a whole bunch of people were let out of jail because they were not, you know, they were not the unaliver, they were not the assayer. And
the Innocence Project is still busy getting people who were wrongly convicted out of prison and off of death row.
And that took a bunch of therapy for a lot of people who were convinced, no, this happened. And again, even when we have DNA evidence, no, it's not. It does not matter. They are traumatized. We need to get them help.
It's compared to their health and well-being, the details of the specific event, not relevant. If you need, from a societal level, you need to punish the lawbreaker. If you're the judge or whatever, then yes, the details matter. But for a day-to-day level where we care about human well-being, where we care about here's another statistic from the video coming up. Well, it's not a statistic because I'm not going to give you the exact number off the top of my head, but more abuse victims delete themselves than are unalived by their abuser because of shitty support in the aftermath. No help for the depression, no help for the mental illness, no help for the other various things that all press down on you all at the same time, in addition to the inner turmoil you're feeling, the guilt, the shame, all of it. It's too much for a lot of people. And even with support, the rates are higher of self-deletion than having died in the initial assault in the first place. You know, so it's critically important that we don't deprive them of their autonomy because it's the only fucking thing they have, you know?
Exactly. Thank you for saying that.
Doing a sermon on the first day of the year. Oh, I can't help it, folks. I'm a secular minister, but as we have seen over the past year, you can't make a minister unministery. There's going to be leftovers. It just
no. This is so important, and I know that you're working on it, so I'm holding back because I'm like, okay, we're Happy New Year stream, but. Clearly, a lot of this isn't known in the community, and it even if on a broad level needs to be reinforced from time to time.
Well, that's one of the things, and I suppose it's a topic for another discussion, a different video, something like that. But we have shifted in our community. Like for a long time, we understood that a lot of people have no idea how to process trauma, how to support survivors, any of that stuff, because they've never had to deal with it. It's never been in their face. And so they just don't know. But for a long time, we had the understandable presupposition that as skeptics, they would say, I don't actually have any expertise in this. Let me get in touch with someone who does. Let me look up what's the right thing to do. But now we've reached a point where even skeptics are just like, hey, ChatGPT, how should I handle this? And they think they're fucking experts. And they say dangerously wrong misinformation.
You notice that too?
It's I mean, whatever. ChatGPT is a tool. Any tool, fine, whatever. But like, maintain your skepticism. It's don't let the box do your thinking for you. I know I sound like
exactly
a when I say that.
Yeah, and I was saying this last Sunday. I was just like, I don't know what people think GPT is. This is nuts to me. There's not a little person where, you know, if you're an evangelical, it's not a little demon in there. Because we were looking at people who did the if scenario, if you were a demon, da 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 da, but then took the answer as if it were I am a demon and I am telling you it. Oh my God, it was so, you were there. I'm sorry. It was annoying. But I'm just like, I don't think you totally don't understand how if prompts work. Or what GPT actually is. Did I do the one with the guy who was trying to bless the demon out of Chat GPT, but not just his Chat GPT, all of the Chat GPTs? Go to your like there's one server, underground that speaks to all of the Chat GPTs all over the world. What? Go to that one and yank the demon right out of it. That way it can never affect anybody's, and it can only give you the true, the gospel truth. And I was like, wow, okay. But just want to do this little mini PSA that if you would not think that you were an expert after having read a Wikipedia page on a topic that you don't know anything about prior, ChatGPT is usually objectively worse. Like it's down a level. And I'm not saying don't use it if you have like a simple question like, hey, ChatGPT, what is X? Like it'll give you a very basic, it gets great for basic definitions if you want to do role playing, or I use it to clean up my emails. Like, hey, ChatGPT. Well, I have what is it? Something on Microsoft. Same product. Copilot. Thank you.
Yeah, I never use it either, but it's in there. It's in my memory bank for some reason.
Yeah, Copilot. It's actually not bad at as a proofreader, and so I will write the email. I'm not like, hey, write a FMLA approval letter. Like I actually write the letter, and I'm like, hey, Copilot, make this look more professional. So it's great as a proofreader. Like and so like these are things that I would use it for, or on my show when we're trying to make something stupid make sense out of something stupid. I think you've seen those shows too, where it's just like, hey, Monday, what is unconscious consciousness? And it'll be like,
right, yeah, like asking silly things that it is appropriate to, like an abstract concept. I've done that with Gemini a couple of times. I'll come across something like the nature of time, and I'll be like, hey, Gemini, draw the nature of time, and just see what it comes up with,
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think all things have their place, right? We're not looking for the meaning of life in Chat GPT, and there are no current replacements for people, experts in the field. So I just want to make sure we're all on the same page about that.
Yeah, it's just like anything else. Anything else. When the internet first became a thing, we all had to learn about what we now call Dunning-Kruger, because people would read one BuzzFeed article about something and decide they're an expert. I mean, okay, in fairness, humans have always done this. Like young Earth creationists, flat earthers, they've always been like, all of science is wrong because the one sermon I heard this one time, you know?
Yeah. It's a thing our brains do. And a feature, not a bug. It just, it came along for the evolutionary ride. We haven't had the luxury of being able to be skeptics for very long, and arguably half of us still aren't in that position. So, our brains are going to do what brains are going to do. But
incidentally, this is what Gemini just drew I asked it to draw the nature of time.
It's beautiful.
That's a silly idea.
No, and I can do that. But it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's it, is just please draw the nature of time. Now, I'm sure if I hit it again in 10 minutes, I'll get something
else.
Fucking different. But this is what it came up with right now.
I just like the colors. It's no substitution for your drawings, for your photos. I really did want to say, for not to go back to the domestic abuse photo, but like when I looked at it, I was like, this looks like somebody who's beaten and is looking forward to the future. Like that really is what jumped out of the photo. So it's just really well done.
Yeah, I feel like in some ways it was a therapy session for Ash because like
Yeah, 100% it was.
in order to capture the emotions, we had to go through all of them because she's
Yeah.
not an actor. To show an emotion, she has to actually be feeling it. So we'd have to
Right.
run through the thought process behind each one in order to evoke it on purpose.
Mhm.
And so we did hope for the end, so she wouldn't, you know,
Yes.
be done
Right.
being sad or angry or whatever. And after having gone through all those emotions, it was
Mhm.
almost like the stages of grief rapid fire kind of thing. So she
Yeah.
was ready to be in an acceptance mode. She was like, we've done the thing. There is actually hope, at least a
Yeah.
little, you know? And so
Yeah.
it was really cool for that reason too.
That
Other
yeah,
things that are
that
really
takes
cool.
insane growth. Not everyone could do that.
I know. I didn't even have like a proper understanding of how, because I was still in survivor mode myself, right? Like I didn't
Yeah.
know how to help other survivors. I was just doing my best. A person comes to me with a project I see the importance and the value of. Yes, we're doing it, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I will help, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was great, but like I made a point of saying to her several times, I'm like, the bravery to do this. And like the first thing out of the hospital, as soon as she could, she was contacting her friends. I need a portrait artist, not somebody to document the bruises. I need a portrait artist. And her friends happened to know my friends and we got connected. And I'm like, this was like the first thing you did. Like you had a goal in mind. You're like, I'm telling my story visually. Amazing. Like people don't do that. People
Yeah.
are like, don't look at me, don't perceive me.
Yeah.
You know, they see it as humiliating, even
Yes.
though we're not, it's not our fault what gets done to us. No matter, everybody makes mistakes. You know, you can't look at like, oh,
Yeah.
well, if only I'd folded his shirt correctly, he wouldn't have
Mm.
beaten me. No, you don't deserve that. No matter what mistakes you may have made, no one deserves that.
And we still need to educate society on that too. Because a lot of people are still like, well, why didn't you leave sooner? Or, you know, those types of questions. And anything you say to justify surviving, you know, your mind at the time of survival, most of the people asking those questions won't have been there, and they're just not going to get it. It's going to come off as an excuse, and you're just, you know, you must like it, you know it.
Right. People don't understand it. They want to judge, but they want to judge on surface layers. It's like the calling the police thing. You know, there's so many layers underneath. In many jurisdictions, there are policies that mandate that if like a person gets beaten and they fought back, then both the abuser and the survivor have to go to jail. There's a policy, right? There, you don't get a say. So there's other situations where like if the abuser is the father and the victim is the mother, then CPS automatically gets involved because have the children been beaten? You know, has this been an unsafe household because she allowed him to stay? And so she could lose her children because the police got involved. These are things she is aware of and you are not. So you cannot take that away from her. You make that call for somebody else and you can do real lasting damage to the survivor. There's only two reasons to abrogate autonomy: imminent physical danger to the survivor and imminent physical danger to another person. If that abuser might hurt someone else, you need to call people in. If that survivor is still in danger right now, you may need to call people in. But other than that, it has to be their decision.
Right. Exactly.
Speaking of decisions, Lil of all trade, this is the worst fucking segue ever. Well, the worst one all year anyway. Lil of all trade sends us $2. Thank you, Lil, and says there's no replacement for Emba or Meyer. I need more coffee.
You know what?
Ember or
You need
water.
champagne. It's New Year's Day.
I know. I haven't had a drink all year, like a
What?
drink. But if you need a drink, not necessarily of the alcoholic variety, we can help with that. Hey folks, I've been working hard on my health, and so far I've lost over 140 pounds. A huge part of good health is hydration. That's why I'm thrilled to partner with Epic Water Filters. Check this out. Not only can you say goodbye to expensive bottled water, but these filters are made in the US, so no tariffs, and they're made to fit your life. From these lovely pitchers I can fill from, to sink units, to portable filters that fit in your reusable bottle. With Epic, I can refill from nature's water sources and not have to worry about bacteria and whatnot. But also, send back a used filter to be responsibly recycled, and they'll send you a free replacement, saving you and the earth even more. Want to save a ton of money, be healthier, and build a better world? Head to epicwaterfilters.com and enter code EMBER15 at checkout for 15% off. Don't settle for random water. Upgrade to Epic.
Yay.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I almost forgot
the year with that, but you should definitely go over there and join or buy. Yeah.
Or do the thing. Yeah, I mean, it's 100% of the shows this year, and I almost forgot to do the ad. Like,
I love how you're just giving yourself so much grace. It's like, this is the worst segue.
It's just so funny to say everything is like the entire, because it's the first day of the year. We get to restart our count.
I may do worse segues later in the year, but this it's just...
I know. It's oh my goodness. It's a trip. Right. Okay. So we're not only did we do a full show, we're into overtime technically. So I do need to wrap up
now. When do you like to wrap up?
What's that?
I said it's 1:30 now. When do you like to wrap up? 1 hour and 30 minutes.
12:30.
No. When see where it says live, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Now it's
okay. Yeah, I'm like around 90 minutes. A couple of reasons. The first is that typically half the audience leaves about now, and I still don't know why, but also to make it rewatchable for future people. And also, hello, future people. If you are watching in the future, if you made it all this way, you must like what we're doing. And this is an unusual episode. We don't normally, I do tend to tangent, but I tend to mostly stay in the general vicinity of the topic we're trying to explore. The good news is we covered most of the salient bits. The one part we didn't, and this will make actually a good topic all unto itself, is I will show how measuring time shaped history. This is a fascinating subject in and of itself, because it illustrates the ways in which we choose to divide up time have shaped our understanding of other things, which in turn has changed the course of the history of different civilizations, why they developed in some ways versus others. The made up model of how we keep time changed the flow of history, and it's so fucking meta, and I really wanted to get into it, but that could be a topic all unto itself. So stay tuned for that in an upcoming show. Before we scoot along, I do want to take a second to thank everybody who contributed today, because it makes such a big deal. I can't even begin to express how, I mean, thank you, of course, but also like, it really, really, really makes a difference. It's not just, gestures thrown into the void. It's been more than 6 months since I had a regular paycheck, and I still can't work a regular job because of the medical reasons related to what delayed the show. And just, it helps a lot. And I very, very much appreciate it. So there's a bunch, and I appreciate that too. Miranda opened the show with $10 saying, Happy New Year. Littleball Trade sent $5 saying, Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Much love in the new year, Ember. Detroit Atheist Queen 24/7, Kelly King, sent $5 and said, another year of being an Ember fangirl. And then she did it again, another $5 saying, it's your party or show. You can cry if you want to. I missed that one earlier. My apologies, but this is why we go over them again later. I appreciate that. And I did get a little bit of emotional earlier. Maya Atkinson sent us a super sticker with a pair. It's a critter blowing kisses.
Kisses.
Yeah. Thank you. Jester member chat for 29 months. Fuck yeah. And said, wait a secular humanist, Maya, keep it up. Left-handed Jedi, $20. Thank you, Jedi. And said, I spent my New Year's Eve gaming with friends. Great night. And that is about probably the best way to spend it, honestly. Jester sent $2 saying, you spoke of Kyle, but where are you selling prints? And then another $2 saying, listen to Maya. And then Deviant sent 26 saying, listen to Jester, who said, listen to Maya. And Left-handed Jedi sent $5. Thank you, Jedi. And said, listen to, oh, Squirrel. What was I saying?
Yeah, it's all sound advice.
It's true. It's true. And then Lil of all trades wrapping us up with $2 saying there's no replacements for Ember and Maya. So make sure you subscribe to both our channels because we would love to see you in the future. Normally, this is the more chill show, believe it or not. I get worked up on the bonus shows. So subscribe and ring the notification bell for both of those. Join us whenever we're doing stuff. Next scheduled show is tomorrow. We're exploring how pseudoscience spreads like a fucking mind virus. It should be neat. I hope you join us. And there's usually something else I say here, but I can't remember what the fuck it is. So
sub to Maya. And yeah.
Yes,
come on Sunday.
Yeah. Bad Science Sunday.
9:30 Eastern. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm gonna shut up now.
It's all good. It's all good. I don't know. I can't think of it. I'll just do my thank you all so much for joining us. It's been lovely seeing you all this year. We'll have to do it again soon. And not wait a whole year to get around to it. Okay, I'll stop. Thank you all so much.
Bye, everybody. Happy New Year.
So much. Yes. And as always, remember, you don't have to present yourself as an expert who knows everything because you asked a fucking magic hat or read a book an angel gave you or fucking whatever the case may be, because you are better than religion. Toodles. Thanks to all our patrons and top-level members for December. Miranda, Karen Butcher, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Robin Webster, Maya Adkison, Jimmy Tux, Ian Chen, Lilith, Ember Lynn, The Barely Bearable Atheist, Eric Wander, Jason Jacoby, Lil of All Trades, Deviant Outcast, Kelly King, the Detroit Atheist Queen, The Mighty Filbert, Secular Feelinist, and Geo Sam. And you can add your name here next month by signing up at patreon.com/betterthanember or by joining Emberships here on YouTube at the Cinder level, which includes all the custom emojis, tons of member-exclusive content, member-only live streams, and a bunch of other stuff. I deeply appreciate all the supporters who keep this channel going. Thank you so much. Because of you, we're building a wonderful community that I'm very proud of.
Just like a spark that's breaking out.